I am Freddie Coleman. You can always follow me on Twitter at Coleman ESPN. So now we have a series, as in a tie series between Indiana and Miami in the Eastern Conference Finals. A great call from Kevin Calabro and the Hall of Famer Hugh B. Brown on the NBA on ESPN Radio. So what kind of series will we see now with the series tied at 2? Let's bring in a man who does a great job on bballbreakdown.com. He is Coach Nick Houselman. We'll call him Coach Nick. He joins me courtesy of the Subway Fresh Take Hotline. Coach Nick, what kind of series do you think we'll see from this point on with the Pacers having 2 wins and the Heat having 2 wins?
Well, thanks for having me on, Freddie. I'm a big fan. And
my pleasure.
This is going to be a great series. I'm disappointed that the other series was a sweep. So I just want as much basketball as I can. I want 7 games. I want it to go down to the 2 free throws at the last second, and I want to see someone, give me some really exciting stuff down here.
I'm very surprised that we saw an Indiana team that was flat as a board in Game 3, and they came out with a lot of passion in Game 4. What happened to this team between both of those games?
Well, I think we had moments of passion in Game 3, but as soon as they started to as soon as they started to put LeBron James down in the low post, that took the wind out of their sails almost immediately. And I don't blame him because he was getting layup after dish for dunk. And this is what's so interesting about what the Miami Heat offense is that they really didn't feature LeBron in the post in Game 4.
Coach Nick, with that being said, why doesn't Miami go to that every possession?
Well, it's interesting. We're tracking a lot of their offensive sets, and I haven't seen a team be this schizophrenic in my observation of any of these NBA teams, because they have 3 sets that they run that are very successful for them. One is a flash for LeBron to the free throw line. One is horns with a double high post, and the third is LeBron in the post. They're not running these plays. They did it in Game 3, and they got a blowout. And then in Game 4, we have the numbers here. They ran the flash of LeBron to the free throw line 5 times for 5 points. They did horns 6 times for 4 points. And LeBron James only posted up 8 times, 6 points. So that's a real interesting thing, because when their role players are trying to get a rhythm and know where their shots are, when you're constantly changing the offensive sets, it's very difficult on them to get a rhythm. And I'm not surprised that guys like Ray Allen and Shane Battier are having so much trouble.
Follow him on Twitter, B-Ball Source. Coach Nick from bballbreakdown.com with me, Freddie Coleman, on ESPN Radio. I understand all that. I understand basketball lingo. I understand sets. What I don't understand is that if you're Eric Spoelstra as a head coach of Miami, you're supposed to do a better job as a coach of making sure your players get the ball in the best positions possible. With that being said, what is he waiting for, not running this offense more through LeBron James, especially in the post?
Can you hear me shaking my head, Freddie?
Yes, I can.
Because they have assistants. They have people who are charting. I know, Tex Winter's a guy I know who used to chart every offensive play, and he could tell you at any time in the game how many points they've gotten on this offensive set or in this other possession. And I don't understand why they're doing that. Now, at some point, I thought before this game that maybe Eric Spoelstra was some sort of mad genius where you can't scout him because you never know what offensive package they're going to run that game compared to the other one. But at this point, they have now 2 players, Bosh and LeBron, both twisted their ankle a little bit, and they're playing with fire a little bit here, because you don't put your best offensive sets out there and try and beat them, the best way you can. A little ankle here, a little ankle there, they're going to lose the series in a hurry.
In my opinion, Roy Hibbert, the son of Indiana, has been the second best player in this series. What has gotten into him, in which it seems like the big man is actually playing like a big man, specifically on the boards in this series?
Well, Frank Vogel is a very smart coach, and what he noticed was when they do a high pick and roll with Roy Hibbert, they are going to trap the ball handler. And when Hibbert rolls to the basket, the tallest guy rotating over is going to be at least 5-6 inches shorter than him. So if they run that high pick and roll close enough to the basket, 3 steps into the lane, if he catches it there, it's over. That he's going to get a good shot, or he's going to pass it to West for the layup or a foul or both. And so the Heat will not adjust. This is what the Mavericks found out when they played them in the finals, is that they have a certain way of playing defense, and they are going to stick to that until either they win the game or the ship sinks. And so this is what's happening. Hibbert just keeps getting the ball in the middle, and then every once in a while they'll post him up down low. They did that today 6 times, and they got 12 points out of it. That's a crazy efficient play to post him up or to have him roll, and it's something that the Heat cannot stop.
Coach Nick from bballbreakdown.com with Freddie Coleman on ESPN Radio. Coach Nick, before I let you go, I still have the Heat winning this series in 7. Who do you have winning this series and why?
You know, I heard that, and I actually agree with that as well. I tweeted that out earlier because, you know, there is a lot of talent here on the Miami Heat. And they have shown a lot of ability to really take the Pacers out of what they do. Because remember, the Pacers are not a good scoring team. However, you wouldn't think that watching this series. So I think that the Heat have enough on the defensive end to put enough pressure to force enough turnovers where they can get into it. They have a home court advantage if it gets to Game 7, which I think we both agree it'll get to. And I think that's a monumental task for the Pacers to win a road game in a Game 7 against the defending NBA champions.
Coach Nick, my friend, let's do it again soon. Really appreciate the time, partner.
You got it. Anytime.
And he's a great follow on Twitter, B-Ball Source. Coach Nick Houselman. Coach Nick to his followers from bballbreakdown.com, joining ESPN Radio and ESPNradio.com.